Hello everyone, MazeBeam Tech here. Now, a few days ago, Apple released macOS 26 Tahoe Beta 1 to developers, and I'm here to show you what using it is like and all of the new changes. First of all, as you can see, the size of this update is 7.05 gigs, and if you do want to install this, you will need to create a free Apple developer account and enable the macOS Tahoe 26 developer beta in the beta update section of system settings. Okay, so as for supported devices for this macOS version, as you can see, macOS 26 Tahoe is compatible with MacBook Air 2020 and later, MacBook Pro 2020 and later, MacBook Pro 16-inch 2019, MacBook Pro 13-inch 2020, iMac 2020 and later, Mac Mini 2020 and later, Mac Studio 2022 and later, and Mac Pro 2019 and later. So you'll notice that pretty much Apple has almost killed Intel Macs, and most of the Macs that support this version are indeed Apple Silicon Macs. So yeah, now let's get started with the changes. So first of all, I want to show you guys the brand new user interface that you guys have definitely already heard about, Liquid Glass. Now, it is quite a big change. If you look at my dock here, it is different. Well, definitely different. As you can see, I have opted for the, if I go into the appearance, I've opted for the clear icon style. So it looks like that. Now, obviously, a lot of people will not like this, but I've chosen this to pair up with my wallpaper well. And as you can see, the widgets here, they are made out of liquid glass, and as you can see, it looks really cool. And if I hover over another widget, as you can see, it literally refracts the light and bends the elements on the screen, and it just looks really realistic and pretty cool indeed. So if you look at the dock, you will also notice that it has the exact same effect. And let me just demonstrate and show to you guys what are the different icon and widget styles. So this is default. We have some really new nice icons, pretty colorful. We can obviously choose dark, and I think that these look really nice as well. The one that I've opted for is clear, and I'm just gonna show you what that looks like. Really cool as well. And last of all, tinted, which will look really good for some wallpapers. As you can see, it has this blue tint to it. You can obviously change the tint color here. But personally, for this wallpaper, I think the clear looks the best. Tell me your opinion in the comments down below. But I think for me, this looks pretty cool. Okay, so now that's out of the way, Liquid Glass, I want to show you guys some other user interface changes that are quite huge. So for example, let's just open a window here. For example, let's go ahead and open the Xcode 26 beta, and you'll notice that the edges are very rounded and it looks very modern and very clean. Let me just pull up system settings. You'll also notice that it has very rounded edges and corners, which again looks very nice. Now, some people may not like how aesthetic this looks. They might like usability a little bit more, and yeah, I do agree with the liquid glass. Sometimes you do get some readability issues. For example, this battery health widget, you will notice that the background of this is almost as if it's opaque, and you can't really see the white on white that well. So that is something that you should be aware of. And now, if we some other visual changes, if you, for example, the volume slider has moved up to here, has this really cool liquid glass effect. Same with the display settings, and a very nice animation as well indeed. And speaking of the top right corner, if we go ahead and click on the control center, you will notice that we have a brand new user interface, which looks really cool. Now, if I slide this, you'll notice that this button now turns into a glass look, which again adds to the entire theme of liquid glass. As for the control center, you can also add a bunch of new widgets or controls into the control center. For example, if I want to add this music recognition, Shazam, I can just drag that in and click done, which gives you a new layer of customizability. Now, same here with the menu bar. You will notice that it looks a lot different. Not that much of a difference, but it does look a little bit different because, as you can see, it has a transparent menu bar now. So no more background, completely transparent, which gives you the sense that your display is a little bit larger according to Apple, but personally I don't think it's much of a difference, but pretty clean change. Now I want to talk to you about the brand new wallpapers. So let me open up system settings for the third time in this video, and I'm going to click on the wallpaper. You will notice that we have a brand new dynamic wallpaper, macOS beta, and it changes appearances based on your user preference. It looks alright, and if you put it in screensaver mode or lock screen, it will obviously move. Personally, I'm not a big fan of this wallpaper, but it's fine. I've opted for this wallpaper, which is a wallpaper from, what is it called again? Unsplash Wallpapers. So I think it looks pretty cool and pairs quite well with this dock and icons. Another thing that many people do not know about in this new update is if you click clock appearance, you can now change the look of your clock, just like iPad and iOS. So if I click this, you'll notice that it's rounded. I can change the thickness or weight of it. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. So I've opted for this one with the weight at the max. I think this looks pretty cool, especially with the glassy look at the lock screen. I'll insert a picture for you on the screen right now to show you how it looks. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. Next up, I want to move to some different changes here. So there's a lot of changes to go through. After that, I want to show you the spotlight. So if we go to spotlight search by pressing Command and space on our keyboard, you'll notice that spotlight is much rounded off. And if I just hover my mouse here, you'll notice that it splits. The glass splits into 4 different categories. So you got spotlight, and then obviously you got spotlight, you got applications, files, actions or shortcuts, and your clipboard manager, which is something that I'll go over next. You can access each of this by pressing the desired hotkey. For example, Command 1 for applications, Command 2 for files, Command 3 for actions or shortcuts, and Command 4 for clipboard history. Now, Spotlight, there's a brand new UI obviously, but what's more exciting is these new things. So let's go for applications first. Now applications actually replaces Launchpad, so RIP to Launchpad. Now it does look quite clean, but I do like Launchpad a lot, and I do miss having the ability to just swipe into Launchpad, because now if you use the gesture of Launchpad, you'll notice that it just zooms into your applications part, which isn't full screen like Launchpad, but I'll take it. It's not that bad, and you have a pretty big search bar. For example, I want to search for something, and you'll notice that it pops up right away. Now, if we do Command 3 on our keyboard, Command 2 on our keyboard. I've skipped files, sorry. And you will notice that this is just like your Finder, quick browse through a Finder, all of your files and stuff like that. And if you press Command 3 on your keyboard, it'll bring you to actions or shortcuts. And yeah, I personally won't be using this a lot. I never really use shortcuts anyways. But what's super exciting is actually Command 4, your clipboard manager. Now, before you would have to install some third-party app to have a clipboard manager on your Mac, but now there's a built-in clipboard manager. So if I say ABC and I copy that, you'll notice that it appears right in here. And if I say hi again, you'll notice that it comes here. And as you can see, my clipboard is high so far, but I can copy my ABC and it'll turn into ABC, if that makes sense. So basically a built-in native clipboard manager here on your Mac, which I think looks really cool. Okay, so next up I want to show you guys Safari. Safari, the built-in web browser, does have some changes as well. You will notice that immediately Apple's new consistent design has applied to Safari. If you look at the corners, quite rounded, and all of these rounded interfaces, rounded UI. Other than that, Safari does have some brand new features, some minor features, but honestly, I think Safari looks pretty cool, honestly. And also, if you want your extensions, you can always browse through your extensions on the App Store. There might be some new extensions for macOS that'll come out for macOS Tahoe, but honestly, Safari looks absolutely brilliant. I do like this new user interface. Now, finally, what I want to talk about today is a very minor change that you might have already noticed to the people with sharp eyes, and you'll notice is the mouse cursor. Now, previously the mouse cursor had sharp edges, but now you'll notice that it's all rounded off. And if I use the hand cursor, as you can see, it looks way different. I do actually prefer the rounded mouse cursor, but I don't know about the hand. It looks a little bit weird, just to put it straight away, but it is what it is. And yeah, overall, macOS 26 is a pretty good piece of software, and it's pretty good. It's a pretty good operating system. Now, obviously, this is still a beta software, so there will be a lot of bugs, and there are a lot of bugs as well. For example, when I hook my computer up to a monitor, some of the icons just randomly change, and the full bin icon just doesn't appear. Now here, they will be fixed further on, and in September when the software finally releases, all of these bugs should be fixed. Other than that, macOS Tahoe is a pretty good operating system. If you want more videos like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.